In 1964, a British spy was dispatched to Poland for the first time. Even though they had no prior intelligence about the man, counterintelligence officers from Poland's Ministry of the Interior were on his case immediately, and he left less than a year later. Why? I'll say that again. In 1964, a British spy was dispatched to Poland for the first time. Even though they had no prior intelligence about the man, counterintelligence officers from Poland's Ministry of the Interior were on his case immediately, and he left less than a year later. Why?
They were on his case immediately? So he is just like a really obvious spy.
They found him on park benches looking through holes in a newspaper.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always on one side of a wall, holding his fedora.
Constantly picking up other people's briefcases.
Is this like one of those stories of the American who starts counting like this and people know he's
so they're
British?
putting the index finger up first instead of the thumb up first.
He does something so obviously British.
When someone is a spy, they are not necessarily going over massively undercover. They are just usually sent over as a diplomat or something like this, and then get some additional job once they get there.
That's what I was about to say. From what I understand, a lot of them around that period were sent over with a normal government-style job where they would be expected to be there and doing a normal role that you'd expect a Brit to be doing.
Yes.
Which makes me think that things like he may or may not need to speak Polish for that, because they could just have picked a crap candidate to send to Poland.
I can tell you he was hired as the secretary archivist to the British Embassy's military attaché in Poland. That wasn't what he was meant to do there, but that's what he was hired as.
So an archivist gets to see stuff and documents. So I can see why, as a spy, someone being an archivist would be good, because, hi, I'm an archivist. Can I see all of your documents?
Did they ask him a really obvious question about history or something that someone who studies documents all day should know, but he didn't? And they said, what are you doing here?
I was thinking you meant just a question like, are you a spy?
Oh, that too.
Like the US immigration form. As a Brit, if I go to the US, I get literally asked if I am a spy and literally asked if I was a member of the Nazi regime during the World Wars.
Yeah. There's some questions that are like, have you ever conspired to commit list of crimes? It's just, yes, no. But you have to tick the box.
I've definitely seen the question, are you a terrorist?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, oh, you got me. But I cannot tell a lie.
Although I assume that's so they can also tack on the crime of lying to a federal agent or something like that if they can't get anything else for you.
Or maybe that's the easiest one for them to get you under.
Yeah.
That's how they got Al Capone for not paying his taxes.
Yeah.
So.
I do like Bernadette's point, though, there. Was it something to do with the archivist being asked an archivist question and not being an archivist? So I didn't know the answer.
No, not really. You could argue that the Polish officers sort of got lucky.
I'm imagining it like some kind of farce film where there just happens to be two Polish officers walking into a random room, and the spy's standing there, trousers half-mast, and trying to hide a bug listening device in between his legs so it wouldn't be found. And they go, what are you doing there, sir? I'm like, I am...
It wasn't anything so... specific. He actually had a miserable time for the months he was there. He couldn't get his job done.
Did he have a bunch of attention? Was that the reason that he couldn't do his job? Was he, I don't know, cast... Did he have jury duty that was televised or something? Was he randomly selected for...
Wait, was he recruited for the Polish spy?
Oh, double agent stuff.
Without them knowing, but then they did a background check and they're like, wait a minute, this doesn't...
No, he wasn't. But that, if I say that would be more interesting in fiction, that is a strange clue.
Was he an author? Did he write spy books?
Now we are getting closer. We are definitely getting closer.
Was he too autobiographical with what he wrote?
Oh, almost the exact opposite problem, Matt.
Wait, who wrote James Bond?
Ian Fleming. Mm-hmm. Was it Ian Fleming?
It wasn't. But this was 1964. What might the Polish officers be aware of in 1964 around then?
James Bond?
James Bond.
Did he dress like James Bond? Did he style himself like James Bond? Like with the... Did he ask for a shaken not stirred cocktail or something stupid like that?
So the first James Bond film, Dr. No, came out in 1962. It had been, a few years since Ian Fleming first wrote the character, but the film was popular. Even in Poland.
Oh, it's back to the fast thing again. They open up the door and they go, oh, he's in the room. And he's lying on his back on a metal table with a laser shining between his legs. No, it's not what it looks like.
Matt, obviously not that. But why might the Polish officers have paid a lot more attention to this particular Brit coming in?
Oh, was he called James Bond?
Yes, his name was James Bond.
Was that a pseudonym or was that his actual name?
James Albert Bond was an officer in the Ordnance Corps. He took the job. The real job was gaining access to Soviet military facilities. But the Polish officers saw James Bond and went, well, that's obviously a spy. And so he was just under constant surveillance. Like, he may not have been a spy, but they weren't not going to surveil a Brit called James Bond.
I mean, yeah.
I can't believe that the British intelligence let him be a spy.
His wife recounted that they passed written notes on important matters because they knew their apartment was bugged. They were tailed when leaving the apartment. They were watched by their upstairs neighbours. His name was James Bond, and he was a spy.
Nominative determinism, once again.
Yeah.
They didn't give him a fake name and fake documents.
Surely the service had seen the film and had damning criticism of it.
According to the translated article, Poland's Institute of National Remembrance found the files from the communist-era archives. Mr. Bond was described by the Poles as talkative, but cautious and interested in women.
Okay.
He was 36 years old. His name was James Albert Bond. He arrived in Warsaw, and they spotted him.
And he's definitely not gay. For sure. That's a really important point.
Yes, this was a genuine 1960s British spy called James Bond, who did not have much luck on his assignment in Poland. The Lateral book is out now. Just click on the link to get your copy.